when you thought it couldn't get any worse. This Giants team falls 31 to 16 to the Miami Dolphins. Going to be 1-4 on the season in an outright putrid game by this offense. There were some things I liked in this game. We're going to talk about that. There was a lot that I disliked in this game. Injuries. We saw a lot of injuries in this game. Most notably, Daniel Jones with the neck injury, which is very concerning when you look at his injury history. And we already know that he's had a neck issue prior. The Giants, right now, if Daniel Jones is out for a long period of time, have a true chance to land the number one pick. At worst, a top two pick. Marcus McKeithen, out with the knee. Wandale, he came back in the game, but he was in. He did go through the concussion protocol. He passed it, came right back out. Ben Bredesen, same thing. We saw Darius Slayton. He left for a couple plays. I believe they said it was his shoulder. Just sad. This Giants offensive line. This Giants offensive line once again gave up a lot of sacks, as we know. 7 sacks on the game. Should have been 8. Way too many penalties on the offensive line. Joshua Ezeudu benched at left tackle. Had, I believe it was 3 penalties on one drive, or 2 penalties on one drive, 3 penalties in total. This Giants offensive line is putrid. It is absolutely putrid. Daniel Jones, listen, I pray that he has a speedy recovery and I pray that it's nothing serious. But Daniel Jones, once again, did not have a good performance. There was times where, we're getting Darren Waller involved, and then, you're trying to pick up the first down and you undercut Wandale Robinson. Pretty much throw the ball to the ground. You also look at the offensive line. Offensive line, hate saying this, finally got Daniel Jones injured. Unfortunately, it was bound to happen with how bad it was. I'm surprised it didn't happen against Seattle when we gave up 11 sacks. But at one point, this offensive line was Matt Peart, Mark Lewinsky, Ben Bredesen, Jalen Mayfield, and Evan Neal. I don't think anybody thought that that's how this offensive line was going to shape up in this game. That's not even an NFL caliber offensive line right there. You had 4 offensive guards and Evan Neal playing. Evan Neal looked horrible in this game as well. Completely whipped on a defender. Didn't even give him the regard. Went right past him. Damn near killed Daniel Jones. And he wonders why he's getting the boos. Just proving that he was a bust. I will say this much. Again, there were some positives I liked in this game. We all know the defense came and showed out. We're going to talk about that in a second. Eric Gray. I've been fairly hard on Eric Gray, but he impressed me today. Eric Gray, he ran with confidence. He looked a little elusive. And it was nice to see the New York Giants use their 5th-round rookie to see what they got in him. And not just on special teams. He looked solid. For the most part, I'll give him that much. And he looked like a decent 1-2 punch with Matt Breida. But the run game was subpar in this game. Giants couldn't get anything going in the passing game whatsoever. It was just a putrid performance by this Giants team on offense. Waller had 4 receptions in the first half. He was creating, some nice plays. Had what would have been a touchdown. I got to give a lot of credit to Xavier Howard there, but at the same time, Darren Waller, you have to come down with that ball. You absolutely have to come down with that ball. You're finally getting targeted in the game. Daniel Jones, I'll give him credit. He threw a nice pass to Darren Waller, laid it in the bucket. Darren Waller couldn't come up with it. But I'll give it. Darren Waller had a pretty solid game. It's nice to see him get involved. I'll say that much. Um, Look, I know that some fans will say that, you know, this offense with Tyrod looked serviceable, and it somewhat did. But with Tyrod Taylor, if he remains, I assume that we may pick up, maybe Tommy DeVito, because obviously, there's familiarity with them. Um, but I don't expect this offense to get any better under Tyrod Taylor, nor Tommy DeVito. I think we can pretty much expect the same product, considering that this is still the same offensive line. At this point, you got to consider, do you bring back Andrew Thomas, or do you just let that hamstring heal? I mean, hamstrings are very tricky. You can't let your all pro left tackle, risk injury. And is it even worth it at this point? With the trade deadline approaching, the Giants should absolutely be sellers. And I'm saying it right now. Leonard Williams, Adoree Jackson, some would say Darius Slayton. You could throw in Saquon Barkley for that matter. The Giants, this season is done. It's done right now. And especially if Daniel Jones is out for an extended period of time, this season is looking bleak. And now you have Buffalo on prime time. And they just lost today, and they're going to be playing with fire in their eyes. Now, granted, let's talk about this defense. This defense came and they showed up and they showed out. This defense did what they had to do. This defense came in with zero takeaways this year and had three in one game. Three. Xavier McKinney with the fumble recovered by Kayvon. Jason Pinnock with a record tying 102-yard pick six on Tua. Bobby Okereke, another interception, three takeaways. And one of those takeaways was the first touchdown that the Giants have scored in the first half this season. And it wasn't the offense that did it. This Giants defense gave this offense opportunities to score and put points up. And we just couldn't capitalize. They couldn't capitalize in any aspect whatsoever. And it's sad. It really is sad to see just the regression of this offense and just poor, piss poor play. Excuse me, piss poor play from the offensive line right now. Granted, there's injuries, but still a very bad offensive line right now. The worst offensive line right now. The worst offensive line I have ever seen is in MetLife Stadium for the New York Giants right now. Now, going back to the Giants defense, Kayvon, he had a sack, tying his rookie record, 4 sacks right now. I mean, he's looking like a stud. He's really looking like a stud. Had 2 sacks against Seattle. I mean, 4 sacks on the year so far. I mean, got to give the kid a lot of credit. Got the jersey on right now. But Giants run defense, it's still a problem. A Chain ran all over us. Raheem Mostert as well. Bad tackling is still a problem. I mean, uh, can we talk about why Trey Hawkins was guarding Tyreek Hill with no safety help? Now the safeties bit down. They played down, expecting Tua to play the short game, and Tua just made them pay. Made them pay. A bomb, 69 yards to Tyreek Hill. That's definitely a welcome to the NFL moment for the rookie. That's one of the best wide receivers we have seen in all of NFL history in Tyreek Hill. And you put a rookie one on one with him with no safety help. Very questionable there by Wink, but Wink had a hell of a performance by his defense today. This defense again came and showed up. They showed out, and I got to give them a lot of credit. They gave this offense multiple opportunities, but couldn't get it done, man. Special teams. I mean, what can you say? Uh, Looked subpar today. I mean, uh, they scored 6 points for us, uh, which is great. Uh, listen, it's funny when the special teams scores for you, defense scores for you, and your offense can't. Funny times we're living in in Giants land, man. But now you got Buffalo on prime time. And again, like I stated, they're going to be playing with fire in their eyes. And this is not a good Giants team. This is the worst team in the NFL right now. I hate saying it, but it's true. It really is true. You could throw Washington in there. Chicago put on one hell of a performance against Washington, but I would say you could throw them in there as well. You could throw in the Panthers, but this Giants team, they look worse than all of them, if I'm being honest with you. This team is very bad right now, and again, they should be sellers at the trade deadline. Um, but 1 week at a time, Giants fans, we're going to get through it. These are some dark times right now, but listen, we're used to it. We're used to it, unfortunately, but change is coming. The better days are ahead. Okay, let's just take this 1 week at a time, and we'll get through this. But yeah, not looking good right now. Not looking good whatsoever. Um, but let us know your thoughts below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say because this was outright putrid. And we gonna need each other right now. So let us know your thoughts below, and we'll see you guys on the next video.